Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at HBAR, which is currently up nearly 3%. It's at just above 20 cents right now, and the entire market has sort of slowed down today, which is a good and bad sign. Obviously it's a bad sign because we've seen a huge crash, and today we actually did see a rebound on Bitcoin and a few other altcoins. Now it's since come back down. A few altcoins though, like HBAR, are still climbing up. It's good though that we've slowed down because it means we're not crashing as fast and as much down. So there's two sides to it, but before we jump into all the news we have to uncover, I want to ask you guys to check out the Discord down below. I'll leave a link to it in the description. You can see on screen right now just how many trades our members are winning, and today in specific we hit some insane trades. One of the trades was on grass and we made 356% profit just from that one trade today. So yeah, if you want to be copying those trades, make sure to join up on the Discord. We're sending them out every day. Just a few hours ago we closed another trade on APT for 150% profit. So yeah, the trades are going absolutely ham even when the market is crashing. We just predict this stuff. So yeah, make sure you join up. It'll be the first link in the description. Now back to HBAR. So if you remember a few videos ago, we talked about some key dollar cost average in entries on HBAR. First one was 22.5 cents, and we've hit that. We've obviously come down since. Our second area was at 18 cents right here, which we've also obviously hit twice. First time it was a very flash wick, so not a lot of people got in. There wasn't a lot of liquidity here. It was very quick. This time however it was a bit slower, and obviously it was still quite quick, but a lot more people got in. So right now people are sat in practically break even. From 22 to 18 cents, it's 20 cents is the midpoint, just depending on your capital allocation and how you allocated, to the first dollar cost average in entry. The second one, that all obviously contributes as well to your average entry. So if you went slightly heavier on this area, then you're probably in profits right now, maybe, purely break even, and if you went heavier in the first one, then you're probably at a slight loss, but still your average entry is very low. So that's overall good. We still have a third one left at roughly 12-11 cents right here. So that's the next one we're waiting for if the market does continue to crash. In this morning's video, however, if you haven't checked out, I'd highly recommend you do so. We went over Bitcoin and Ethereum's ETFs and some news regarding HBAR as well. If you missed the previous HBAR video, is that there's actually been a HBAR ETF filing. So now we're just waiting for the SEC to approve it before it gets listed. That's obviously quite bullish news, and I think it's one of the many reasons why HBAR is performing quite well today. So yeah, we're just gonna be waiting for that. Obviously the best time for it to be announced and to be released would be when the market is in a slightly preferable state. When we're trending up, the market's green, everything's green, there's good news around all around crypto. That's when it'd be the best for the ETF to launch, simply because then we'd already have some momentum and the catalyst would just hype it up so much more than when the entire market is dumping. We get some good news, we'll see a 5 to 10% pump in one day, next day it's all given back because the market is continuing to dump. So that's the main worry we have. If we take a look at Bitcoin also, this is broken its main support here at $87,300. Next support we have is at 75,000, so quite a long way down. We do crash, altcoins will continue to suffer. Dominance has started to slowly drop off, although it's not enough of what we need. We need this to continue dropping severely, like 10% days. Obviously it's going to be very hard, on the percent chart as well. We're currently just consolidating, but as long as this is able to dump off, then we're probably going to see alts at least survive, and if Bitcoin is able to continue going up, then we'll see alt season essentially happen. Until then though, don't expect much from altcoins. But what I will say is it's definitely a great time to start setting dollar cost average in entries and start buying. It's way better to be buying at these lower entries than to be buying way higher up. Like, a lot of people were buying fetch when it was at the all-time high $3 something. Sui, a lot of people were buying when it was at $5. So even XRP, people were buying at $3.40. HBAR, again, people were buying at 30-40 cents. So we're now getting a huge discount, and I think it's really important to utilize these discounts, because now when we enter the trade and say we go to the next high, for example on HBAR, we're going to get a 2x. The people that invested way higher up, that were buying when the market was really optimal, everything was going up, it looked very easy, they're only going to get 30%. So that's the difference a bit of patience can make, and just trying to invest when there is a lot of pain and a lot of blood on the market, and that's when I think it's the best as well. And a lot of people will say it's a lot riskier because we can continue to crash, whereas here, for example, the market is very prime, it's optimal, everything's pumping, it looks like it can't stop pumping, it can just continue continue. Slightly less risk, or it looks like it's slightly less risk, so people invest there. Well, I mean, it's very easy to look back, but you can look back at, you know, every time you crash and say you invested on all the lows, how much you'd be up from the highs, whereas if you invested on all the highs, you know, you'd be down severely. So that's why it's very important. And if we target the next all-time high, for example, or the previous all-time high, that's a 2x from our current entry, 3x, sorry, from our current entry, 200% profit. So very easy gains here, I think, on HBAR, especially once the ETF launches. When the crypto reserve comes as well, oof, that's going to be a major catalyst for the entire market. You know, maybe this is a dump, sorry, coerced by Donald Trump, as, you know, I don't think he's foolish. He probably knows that uncertainty in the market causes dumps. The S&P isn't really dumping too bad. It hit an all-time high last week. Now it's just consolidating here at the lows. But in crypto, what uncertainty does is it causes these huge sell-offs and huge dumps. So maybe, you know, these dumps are being caused by the government in the US to drive prices lower, so that when they do initially launch the reserve, they're able to buy up, you know, Bitcoin and other cryptos for very cheaper and at a discounted rate. So that's one potential possibility. Again, you know, it's all conspiracy right now, but if that does happen, it'll be major. And when the reserve does happen, I think there's like a 46% chance right now on Polymarket that it happens in 2025. I think the chances are slightly higher, you know, definitely a bit more than 50-50, probably like 55-45. But as time goes on, and I think the main thing is, you know, the SEC as well, when the SEC starts implementing new rules and regulations into crypto, that will definitely not force, but the reserve and crypto reserve in a position where it can actually be approved. Because I think the main issue right now of crypto is obviously a lot of meme coins. It's a slightly dodgy place, but once that is resolved, again, we should see, you know, it continues to pump. Now back to HBAR in specific. So what it could do in the coming week and coming days really is, I think we're going to see it, you know, do something similar to what we saw here, where we just sort of head up, probably trend up to 22 cents and then reverse back down. We need to really establish a support level on HBAR. So whether that means we establish a support here, and, you know, after we essentially reverse from this level, we come back down, fill up this order block, whatever this may be, and then continue to rise, then we break through and, you know, essentially establish this zone as a new support, and then we can continue that sort of trend going up and up. That's usually the best way for a crypto to move. Now obviously the best way doesn't always happen. There's news and stuff like that, which is essentially what's happening now. But overall, if we look at the previous sort of runs we've had, it's very similar. You know, we get this huge run up, we come back down to the previous resistance, build on it as a support, accumulate more, test the resistance again, don't hit it, come back down, get more accumulations, run up, resist, but now we're starting to build up accumulations at this area as well, pump through quite easily. We pump through a lot more resistances, there's a lot of buying pressure, then we come back down, start to find a support right here between the 0.38 to 0.5 area right here, and you can see every time we bounce in, we bounce out quite quickly. So that's sort of how these support and resistances or supply and demands are created, and that's how it should start to be created right now. Again, if it's a bear market and, you know, we're starting to trend down, then it's most likely that we are going to keep breaking these supports and we're just going to keep building more and more resistances. So that's the main thing to watch out for. And, you know, on altcoins it's quite hard to tell what we're in, so it's usually best to look at Bitcoin, and to me Bitcoin looks quite similar to where we were at in 2021, where we saw some initial peak. You know, maybe we're at sort of this stage or this stage where we see the initial dump and then we continue to trend up, or maybe we're in this sort of stage where we're going to see a huge sell-off, maybe down to 75 before we see it, you know, the final leg up, and we finally top out essentially on Bitcoin and other altcoins as well. So that's what we're going to be watching. Again, hopefully this isn't the end of the bull run, hopefully we do continue, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Now if you did enjoy the video, please do make sure to like and subscribe. Again, if you want to be copying my trades every single day, then check out the Discord down below. And if you need a place to actually buy, sell or trade cryptocurrency for the lowest fees with the best sign up rewards, then check out all the exchanges I'm working with down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye guys.